Hey you Skellywags! I've had highs and lows with the ADEPTUS Custodes, and I've come to realise that Joytoy have done a great job with designs from Warhammer 40k that were never intended to be articulated. So we're going to take a deep dive to see if this is something you should pick up.
Shut up and sit down.
Let's get right into it. Each figure comes with 3 pairs of hands. These come attached, trigger finger hands on the left and right. You also get a set of gripping hands, large ones here at that, and also a set of relaxed hands that you can sort of put things on, like their weapons and things like that. Now let's take a look at each figure individually. This is Phelam Tolguror, Vexilus Praetor in Allarus Terminator armour. Although all 3 look similar, there are quite a few differences between them. All of them look very impressive in this gold. There's a silver highlighting to make the details really pop. Each of the 3 head tassels are different, and there is a bit of highlighting there as well. Looks very nice, like it's flowing in the wind. So go on top there, which will just pop in just like that. So you can articulate it as well, move it where you like. Initially thought the pauldron here was the same as one of the others, but it's actually different. We'll go through that one a bit later. There really is a lot of detail in this armor to appreciate. And you'll see that, although again they look similar, there are these small differences. This weapon has some huge rounds, and this sword here. In the hands of a regular sized human, this will seem like quite an impressive sword. When in hand with these guys though, this looks like a dagger of sorts. So I'm not too sure what it's supposed to be, but it is very nice. And each of these is different. So this will just plug in the back, but because of the way it just plugs in like that, it tends to fall off if you're playing about too much. Maybe have it that way if you like. That comes out. So this will not fit in this hand, the gripping hand. It's a bit too small for that. But it will go in this trigger hand. Just have to slide it in there, and it fits in quite nicely. This has got to be one of the most impressive backs from any of Joytoy's Warhammer 40k releases. There's no pattern on the back skirting, but overall, brilliant looking figure. This banner is very impressive. You can see the little shine against the light there, how it catches the light. And it's a lot longer than in the promo images. The same with the other 2 and their weapons. Joytoy extended the length of each, and there's details even all the way down here up to that point. Looks great. This will simply fit into the large gripping hand. Articulation will be the same across the board. This thing here moves around and can come out. This helmeted head can move around in its limited space in there. You can make it go left and right and move around up and down a little bit. The pauldrons can move on a ball joint, as you can see there. That's what it looks like without it. Very unflattering. The arm goes up about there. Just to pop that in. Still got the same range. The arm can move all the way around without the pauldron on. There is no butterfly joint bit though. See how large this joint is. Twist at the bicep. There's also a large joint for a double bend at the elbow. Double barbell for the hands. Really appreciate how Joytoy changed their initial design so that the shoulders align properly. But I've got some minor gripes with the legs. So, it doesn't look too bad, but I just think there should be a bit more length to the legs, maybe. Just a bit here, and maybe with the thighs be a bit thicker. What do you guys think? There's a little bit of movement on the upper torso and waist. A little bit hindered by what's going on here with the waist. The belt bit, I think maybe they should have just made it one piece, which they have in some of their releases. Jean-Claude! Oh! Leg goes up like that. Back is a bit hindered because of this. This comes off. Wish this were a bit more flexible. It's a double bend at the knee, which gets you about 90. You can have it a little bit higher if you bend it like that, or a little bit lower like that. Pivot left and right. Good range. Left and right movement. Down. Oh, can pop off, but easy pops back in. Up is hindered though. There's also toe. I also think that Joytoy should have kept the waist skirting bit and the crotch bit the same, as you're not really going to have him looking like that. It's very unflattering. The proportions just look really off now. That really doesn't look intimidating whatsoever. Let's give your dignity back. Popping on your skirt. Everything seems to pop in nicely though. Including the pauldrons. So, do a bit of posing. Now, not put on the tassel on the top. It tends to pop out a lot. Including the sword on the back. But what's very impressive about these guys is they can hold their weapons. This guy with his banner, one-handed, with minimal issues. And that's something that really I've learned to utilize with a limited articulation. So I'll pop this in. This in last. You can decide where you want the wind to flow. The upper half of these guys is very, very solid, and may need some heat in some cases, but I didn't need it. It was alright in the end. You can get some great poses. Alright, try gun pointing. This thing. Stood up like that. There. It's the standing up pose with a warning. Now just getting ready to slice someone. Again, the way the light catches off the armor is nice. Now get him moving and shooting. The rounds in this gun quite large. There. Definitely better at doing his job than the battle sister with her banner. This is Allarus, Custodian. Osyr, Archimaxis. So this guy is very similar to Fellum, but you'll see there's a few differences. The bit around here is actually soft. Not that one though. This pauldron is similar, but not the same. I really like how this head tassel is not the same as on Phelam. Same size though. Fits on just the same though. On the top there. Do comparisons later, but just at first glance you think, oh, this is all the same. But nope. There's actually a load of differences between them. Soaking all those details. There's a pattern on the skirting here underneath the sheathed sword. Here's the sword knifey thingy, which you can take out. And this one, you can pop in here, but it's got a chain on his, but there's just the one connection there. No stone is left unturned. So here's this very impressive weapon, which you just plug into there. That's how the connection works, so you know which is the right way. Let me know in the comments what the name of this weapon is. It's very impressive. Nice. Axe bit here. Multi-function weapon. There's a bolt from the top. Very nice. This trigger doesn't work, but it's there. Well, I got trigger fingers. There's a pointy bit there. This will simply fit in the trigger finger hand. Have a line there. Let's get him into an action pose. Start off with a one-handed one. Again, I think these guys are probably the best for holding their weapons with one hand. I think should be utilized in that way, because when I first got these out, I was a bit disappointed with the posing, but finding out they can do things like this. Pop that back in there. Really makes up for not being able to do certain other poses, but they look brilliant like this. Maybe have that back like that. Yeah, just something simple. Literally just hold this weapon and it balances at an angle. Really nice. I'll have him just sort of swinging down like he's attacking. That. You can just have like that. There we go. There's just swinging his axe in front of him. Boom. Top half of him is very sturdy and solid, so you can hold this quite nicely. Just do the obligatory double-handed pose, as he's, got this large weapon. Have it sort of like he's pointing this to shoot it. This thing in the back always comes off. There you go. Nice and simple. Terminator armor is not the best for seeing side to side. Can be done, but a little bit hindered. I'm just going to have him swinging upwards at something that is larger than him, which should be very impressive and huge. There. Nice. So yeah, nice few poses you can get out of him. The main accessories give them their own feel. Finally, this is Shield Captain Hydon Seronis, and he has a helmeted head that comes with him along with his unhelmeted head. So these are all exactly the same. You can See all the details at the back here, which you can't see in the others. But very nice. Great design choice by Joytoy, having these a bit more softer plastic, so you can get the head out. That bit isn't, though, the top bit. Let's give this a go. I've not attempted to take this head out just yet. Been dreading it, really, as it looks difficult. But it's coming out. Let's see if we can get it out without having to cut away the video. Nearly. There. Oop. So this is the unhelmeted head, which looks okay. The eyes are quite striking. In blue. Not seen the back there before, which is good. Nice. So there is where we need to get this head in now. So already it's proving difficult, although no. Just got to push it in. Now, this one I may not be able to get done on the camera. There we go. So I managed to get it in there. It didn't take too long to do. So you can move around and get it in there. So let's take a look at the shield captain. Doesn't have a shield. I think he acts as a shield for the Emperor. The shield captain's head tassel is the most extravagant, as it's a bit longer than the other two. More flowy. Pop it in here. The shoulder pauldrons are glaringly different from the other two. Look very, very nice though. There goes the sword. Here's his sword. Sheathed, just like the other two, and can also come out, of course, like the others. You can hold that if you like. Just store on the back. I actually had to heat up this to store it on the back. The other two I didn't for some reason. So immediately everywhere, almost everywhere, you can tell it is different to the other two. But yeah, they all have differences though. But his, I suppose being the shield captain, he's got the most different. Let's look at his weapon. Similar to Archimaxis, the shield captain has this instead, like a sort of sword or spear bit. But same functionality. Can also fit in his trigger finger hand. Right, let's get him into a pose. Oh, there goes his hair tassel thing. Anyway, leave that there. But I found when actually posing these guys, just with their weapons, it really does give them a different kind of feel and personality when looking for different poses. Like with that, it will be different to the axe head that Archimaxus has got. Just sort of have it like that, and again, just very impressive how you can hold this huge weapon, because it really is huge, massive, one-handed. As you can see, with no issues, it's just there. This thing always comes out. And then we'll just have this flowing in the wind that way. Yeah, I think that looks alright. Look at that look. Really sturdy holding that. The way the light catches all those details. Brilliant. This thing just take off because we're getting away. That. So like that. Have that one flowing that way. There. It's going to do something. And then let's do a double holding one too. Shoulder pauldrons are so huge, but you can't get around them. There, pointing. It's going to shoot. Pew pew! Just pushing forward. So this unhelmeted head... Oh, let's leave it out. This unhelmeted head is the most difficult to move. You can get it. So I'm pointing this thing kind of up or towards someone. Get this back on. And this on the back. There you go. So really, pose these guys without the tassel bit on the head and the knife thing on the back. And then pop them on afterwards and you won't have any issues really. Otherwise they'll tend to pop off. Now just have them about to strike someone. So have that down there. There. So there we go. A lot more differences between these figures than I thought there'd be. Which is a nice surprise. Right, let's get into some comparisons now. On the right from Star Wars Vintage Collection, we have Paz Vizsla, larger Mandalorian, and the Armorer, smaller kind of figure from Star Wars. And on the left from Acid Rain, a larger figure from the 4-inch kind of line. Next from the standard 4-inch size on the left is Argus from Acid Rain, right Steiner from Joytoy. Just so you can see them against some 1/12 scale figures, 6-inch figures. There's a Hell Witch from Loose Collector on the left, and from Mezco, Bishop on the right. Shield Captain looks like he could be sort of Wolverine size maybe. Also from Marvel, but Hasbro Legends, is Spiral on the right, and on the left, SH Figure Arts, is Am from Star Wars, which is actually smaller than these guys, all the same size if you stand her up straight. On the Space Marine 1.0 body on the left, one of my custom Space Wolves, and on the right on the 2.0 body, one of my favourite figures this year so far, maybe my favourite. I don't know. The Tech Marine. Here are a couple of chunky boys also in Terminator armor. On the right, Chaos Terminator, and the left, Ray Knight. The Shield Captain does tower over these guys, even though he's not standing totally straight. I'll just try and straighten out the legs just a little bit. Not made too much difference, really. As promised, we'll take a look at all three together and have a look at their similarities and differences. So as you can see, they all look quite similar, besides the middle one. These two got similar bits here, same down there. This guy's got all different there. This one falling over. Even on the shins, different. Like there, not the same. The thighs are the same. Side armor skirt in there with this guy, and the Shield Captain is different. This guy's the same as the other guy. The pauldrons there look similar, but they are different. The body is where they're all the same. That's the main thing, really. So you'll find on the backs, on the back, they're all the same. The upper part anyway. But then you'll find the lower parts there are differences there. These two have got the pattern, the other one doesn't. All their swords are different. Even the holders holding the swords. Very impressive. So, my initial thoughts on these guys, I was a bit disappointed out of the box. But playing about with them, their new bucks, you know, give them a bit of time. And just these things, the swords, tiny grub I don't like. And the tassel, the head at the top bit, comes off. But when you really get to play about with them and know the limitations, then you can really get them to nice poses. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. If you like this video, click the thumbs up. For more content, subscribe. And I'll skell you later.